Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with green coconut chicken. And no, we're not using green coconuts. We're using coconut milk and some green stuff. I don't want to call it a curry because it's not like truly authentic, and I don't want to get in trouble with the curry police. And there has been known instances of curry police brutality. This is just going to be called green coconut chicken. And here's what you do. So I'm going to take some neutral oil. I'm using grapeseed here. You can just use vegetable oil. I'm going to brown 4 chicken legs, seasoned with salt on both sides. I'm going to brown those really well on both sides on medium heat to the proverbial golden brown. And if I do say so myself, that is like absolutely golden brown. All right, so just like that. We're going to remove those from the pan and reserve. And now for the green coconut part, I'm going to take some jalapeno, some green onion, also known as scallion, some garlic cloves. All right, I'm going to add some cilantro, 1 can of coconut milk, the real stuff, not the light, 1 can of coconut milk, and then 1 can of water. We're going to whiz that up in the blender until it's finely pureed and liquefied, and that's going to be our braising liquid. All right, to put this delicious green coconut this green coconut chicken together, I'm going to take some sliced onions and some big chunks of ginger, and I'm going to heat that in a few drops of vegetable oil. And as soon as that starts to sizzle, I'm going to add red curry powder. Now, you're going to have to check the blog post. I'm going to give you the exact measurement and the exact brand. I wanted to use spices that you can find at any major supermarket, and I did. Okay, so we're going to toast that a little bit. We're going to warm that curry powder up. And really all that does, the heat just kind of wakes up the spice a little bit. All right, so after that's cooked for like a minute, we're going to put our chicken pieces back on top of the aromatics. I love calling them aromatics. I stole that from Alton Brown. We're going to pour in our green coconut milk mixture and then a little bit of fresh lime. You can use just regular old limes if you can't find these cool, very cool little key limes. So I'm using a couple of those. And I'm going to put the whole thing right in just because I think it looks cool. And I don't mind a little touch of the bitterness from the rind seeping into my sauce. But that's up to you. As far as salt, we're going to add a little bit of fish sauce. You know I like to use my fish sauce. If you don't have that, you can use a splash of soy to taste. And I'm also going to put some brown sugar to kind of balance the acidity. All right, we're going to bring that to a simmer. Make sure the chicken is pretty much submerged. Put it on low and let it simmer for 45 minutes. So while that's simmering, we're going to prep our vegetables. And you can put almost anything in this, from potatoes to zucchini to squash. I'm going to use some of these little eggplants, which are very cool looking. All right, you could use regular eggplant, those longer purplish Japanese eggplant would be nice. I'm also going to slice up a yam here, which is really just a sweet potato. But that's another story. So after 45 minutes of simmering, the chicken is fork tender. And by the way, anytime we do dishes like this, you know you got to skim any of the excess fat that pools up at the top. And then I'm going to use a strainer to fish out the chicken pieces and reserve them on the side, because I want to cook the vegetables right in that green coconut braising liquid. And I don't want the chicken in the way. And I don't want to overcook the chicken and have it fall apart. So I'm going to add the sweet potatoes. I'm going to bring it up to a boil. I'm going to toss in the eggplant or any other vegetables I'm going to use. And as soon as those are tender, you're ready to eat basically. The last major ingredient, Thai basil. Of course you can use regular basil. You knew you could use regular basil. But if you can find it, try to get Thai basil. Very intense, very fragrant, very interesting. Use that if you can. I didn't even chop it. I just pulled off all the leaves with my hands. Just gave them kind of a rough tear. Threw them in. Of course, please, I beg you, taste for salt and pepper. The fish sauce I added is very salty, so I just needed a pinch of salt in mine. Depending on if you use fish sauce or not, or soy, you're going to have to taste this for salt. Taste it for spice. You can always add some more hot pepper if you want. And you can even add a little more brown sugar if you want to give it a little more sweetness. That's up to you. So to finish this off, I'm going to add my chicken pieces back in, cover it, and just simmer that on low for about 5 minutes to heat it through. All right, that should be about it. Throw this over some nice white rice. The contrast between the bland, starchy rice and the full flavored, to say the least, green coconut chicken. Perfect combination. And like most braised dishes, the meat's going to be fork tender, just really moist and delicious. All right, call it Thai if you want. Call it green curry if you want. I call it an easy and delicious braised chicken dinner. So go to this site. All the ingredients are there. And as always, enjoy.